What is up, Uneducated Duo Podcast fam? My name is Pablo.
And I'm Gerald.
And what's up, man? How you been?
I've been kicking it, man. Hanging out. Fucking, my little brother's shoes just came in.
Mm-hmm.
Did I tell you that my mom bought him $500 pair of shoes?
No, you didn't tell me that, but I saw her snap.
Yeah, fucking Jordan 4s, like UNC ones.
Uh-huh.
God damn, dude. I remember when they told me that shit. They were like, hey, your little brother's got, or they're buying him $500 shoes. And I was like, what the fuck, bro? $500 shoes?
That's wild.
He's like 14 years old. Fucking, I was like, what happens when some bullshit ass kid steps on him? You know he's going to get like
pissed as fuck.
Yeah, he's going to end up in some little kid fight because some kid's going to be all like, oh, fuck your shoes. And then
he's
step
had
on
some
him.
fucking wild shit that I would never even dream of having, dude. Because he had like a Gucci belt too, right?
Yeah, a Gucci belt.
Fuck.
He's out here stunting, man.
I haven't been to the mall in fucking weeks, and we went today. Years, actually. And we went today, and I didn't know they had a Coach store in there, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It was right across from the fucking Max bookstore.
Isn't Coach like a purse store?
It's like a fucking brand, bro. Like Gucci. It's like they got a bunch of shit, you know?
I don't know. Whenever I think of shit like that, I just think of like purses. Because like my mom always talks about like her Michael Kors purse or her
Gucci.
Coach or whatever the fuck she bought, right? So like every time in my head, I'm just like, for the longest time, I was like, guys don't wear that shit.
Uh-huh.
But I guess they do make like clothes and shit that guys wear, huh?
Yeah. They make clothes and fucking shoes, everything, bro. They're just like a designer brand.
It's garbage though. I've seen people fucking buy Gucci shoes and like they look like your old school like 2005 generic ass DC shoes, but instead it's the Gucci symbol.
Well, like fashion is like art, bro. Like it's very like your opinion about it, right? Because like I've seen like Kanye sell like a $500 white tee.
The ripped one?
Like a ripped one, yeah. That's fucking wild. Like it's just a white tee.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't get it. Like I get wanting to like look good because like I've always wanted to like have shit I feel, or at least because when you feel like you look good, it makes you feel good, you know?
Yeah.
But when you buy like something just because its brand is so expensive, I don't think it's like as cool as if you bought something and you just looked good in it, I guess. Because I'm not going to be like, oh, check out your dope ass. I mean, with this, yeah, with my little brother's fucking shoes, obviously I noticed right away, right? Because Jordan shoes are like.
Did you see him wear them or did you know he ordered them?
No, they told me about it, and then my mom sent me a video when he like got them.
Yeah.
I guess he already wore them to school and shit.
That's wild. Yeah, most people that. There's not people out there wearing $500 shoes.
Now they just keep them to resell them.
Yeah.
Dead stock and
That's
shit.
basically it, unless you're like a celebrity or something. Because there's no way, dude. Like $500 on your feet and it starts raining or something. I'm taking those bitches off.
Yeah, like if it rains or snow, right? You just throw that shit in your backpack and just walk home.
Yeah,
with those shoes
there's
on.
no fucking way, yeah.
I would do that too. You know how like Mexican bands and shit be rolling through towns all the time?
Yeah.
I guess some band came through this weekend, right? And my mom went to the concert and they were. So what she told me the story is they were leaving, right? And as they're leaving, these people start fighting, right? And this one guy's getting jumped by like 3 dudes. And my mom like stops to like record it. Because I guess they were like kind of drunk and she was just like, oh, a fight. And then records it, right? But because she stopped, my sister was like, so my mom stopped, right? So then my dad stopped. And then she was like, and my dad saw them kicking his ass, right? And like he couldn't just stand there. So he went over there to try to pull the dudes off the guy getting his ass kicked. And as he's pulling one of the dudes off, a different dude comes up and like hits him in the side of the head like 3 times. Just boom, boom.
Whoa,
boom.
what the fuck?
Yeah, dude, just fucking unloads on him, right? Like boom, boom, boom. So my sister seen that. She's like, she sees it happen, right? And she's like, oh shit. And then she goes over there and fucking throws a punch at that guy's head too. And she hits the guy that hit her dad. And then he stands up and he turns around and the guy that hit him like fucking just runs off.
Because she like hit him that hard or what?
Well, because when she hit him in the side of the head, I guess he just like stepped to the side and then Chivo starts turning around and he just booked it, right?
Oh, yeah, because Chivo would fuck him up.
Yeah, probably. I have no idea how big he actually was or anything, but like I assume after he hit him that he was going to get up and start beating his ass, right?
Yeah.
So she's telling me that story and I was all like, damn. And then she's like, it's kind of my mom's fault because she stopped to record. But then when we got home, she didn't even have the video anymore because she recorded on Snapchat and she didn't like send it anywhere. So when she closed the app, it just went away.
That's fucking sucks. So all that for nothing.
Yeah, all that for nothing, man. I think it was funny though because like they were telling me the story and I was like, it's so true because like if I saw a guy getting jumped, even if the guy was in the wrong or something and you don't know it, you know, like almost instinctively you're like, I got to go get them off. Not necessarily help him fight these guys, but like, yo, bro, he's done. You beat his ass. So you win.
I doubt it, though, because I'm sure a lot of people were just walking by, like, or just staring,
Yeah, a lot of people do it, but I was reflecting on myself because, like, I've done it where, like, I've seen people fighting.
And you pull them off?
And I pull them off. Not necessarily getting jumped, but, like, 2 dudes, and then obviously one dude is, like, he won. It's over. You kicked his ass, bro. You don't need to.
Why are you guys still going?
Yeah, you don't need to bash his face into the cement. So, like, I've stopped something like that. But when you're talking about a dude getting jumped, that's like, you don't know what's going to happen. Next thing you know, some dude comes up, fucking bashes you. Because you can get kicked hard if you're trying to just fucking help someone.
Yeah, you got to kind of be aware of your surroundings, because I'm sure the guy that came up and, like, punched him in the side of the head was, like, buddies with one of those 3 guys or something.
Yeah, probably. Or just drunk as fuck.
Because there's no way you just go at somebody like that.
Yeah, that's a crazy story, though. She was telling me that shit. I was like, damn, that's why I don't go to Mexican concerts, man. It gets too real.
Your sister told you that?
Yeah. I was like, you should have took Nate. Because last time they went to a Mexican concert, they took Nate.
Yeah.
I was like, you should have took Nate. Nate's down to fight all the fucking time.
Yeah. Yeah, that motherfucker's wild, too. But he's trying to get his life together, man.
True.
Shout out to him.
What about you? What you been doing?
Just fucking working, man. I got a fucking dog today, too. Like the dog I've always wanted, which is like an old English bulldog. And that was cool. I got my kids a VR, so they're fucking hype about that. I went out to eat, bro, to this place.
Okay.
We were trying to decide where to go. I had recommended like a Japanese steakhouse because nobody's ever really been there.
Yeah, those are the shit.
So we ended up going to this place called Tupelo Honey. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And my brother was like, oh, it's like fancy fried chicken. Fancy fried chicken? What the fuck? Yeah, dude, it's fucking nice. Like, it's a vibe in there. The food is good.
Is the price worth it? What the hell is fancy fried chicken? Like special oil or some shit?
It's like from
Not
scratch,
greasy?
basically. Like
they batter it themselves or something?
Yeah. Because I got fucking pan seared like pork loin or something, pork chop or something. That shit was like melting like butter, bro. It was fucking good. But yeah, I don't know. It was like this place kind of hidden in downtown because I don't go to downtown ever.
To eat? Yeah, no.
I don't go to downtown in general at all. But there's like this whole avenue where like you walk into a building and there's like one floor of fucking restaurants and then you take an escalator up and there's like a whole nother floor of restaurants and shit. And yeah, it was fucking good. I mean, we paid like $70 for 2 people, but that's with an appetizer. I got a beer.
That's pretty average, I guess.
Yeah, well,
if
it
you're
wasn't
going out to dinner. That makes sense.
It wasn't
to me.
horrible, and they got like a chef and shit. It's not like it's got like an award-winning chef or something. So it was pretty good.
Oh,
but yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing, bro. Besides work, I mean, work takes up so much fucking time, and at my work every month they do a bid for like a new schedule if you want.
all right.
And I can't start bidding until next month.
So you got to work the same bullshit schedule?
Yeah, because I got a schedule where it's like I'm working 10s and I have Friday, Sunday, Monday off. But I'm trying to get fucking Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. That way I can go to my kids' games.
When they start playing sports and shit?
Yeah, because I already signed them up for t-ball or baseball or whatever. They're gonna actually be playing Little League Baseball this time because before it was like t-ball.
Oh, so like real pitching and shit?
Yeah, real pitching and real fucking hits and shit. So I'm excited for that. We could have put my youngest son in like t-ball, but with my wife being the one to take them to the practices,
They want to go to the same
I wanted
place?
to make sure they go to the same place. Yeah, so they're in the age range where they can both play together, which is cool too. And they got glasses and shit too. Actually, yeah, I forgot to mention that.
Like prescription?
Yeah, prescription glasses, and they fucking wear they picked colored lenses, bro. It's like when I was a kid, they never let me choose that shit, right?
Uh-huh.
But for some reason, they gave them the option to do that, and my wife was like kind of iffy about it, but she did let them pick the glasses.
What's the difference? It's just colored?
Yeah, just colored.
Like
they're like
tinted
thicker
windows?
lenses. Because when I was a kid, bro, we had like Medicaid or whatever,
Uh-huh.
so we always got the
generic ass ones?
yeah, like super
What the fuck? You can't just show me a picture of that shit.
Why not, bro? I think they look good, dude.
They do look good. They look kind of like, I don't know, dude. It's weird because like I've never seen them with glasses. So it's kinda like weird to me.
No, yeah, and especially because they're like
they're colored
standout. They're standout glasses, you know.
Yeah, like black frames
is like nothing, right?
That's what you would expect.
They got white and red glasses, so I don't know.
Damn, you gotta fix their whole fucking wardrobe to that shit now.
Nah, they don't care, bro.
That's crazy. Why do they both get glasses at the same time? They have bad vision?
They both went to the eye doctor, and yeah, I mean, they both needed them.
Huh. I didn't know they could tell that early. I thought like people's eyes didn't start like needing glasses till you were like fucking
shit, bro. Even as like babies get glasses.
Babies get fucking glasses?
Yeah, with like fucking like a whole like strap thing so it stays on their head and shit. But like their uncle and aunt, they got glasses young, and their ears are kind of like droopy.
Because they've always been on their head?
Yeah, so I think it does fuck with your ears and shit.
You're talking about the uncle and aunt, they're like the same age?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. All right, well, we start every episode with the one gotta go. In this episode, we're doing high school sports, but like the less popular ones, right? No football, soccer, baseball, not the big ass ones. We went with the ones that like the kids who can't make these teams play these teams, you know? So if you can't make the football team, then you're on the lacrosse team.
Nah, I don't know about that.
That's 100% fucking true, bro.
I don't think so. There's just like different types of kids for different sports, you know? Because I wouldn't say that any tennis kids were trying out for football, you know? Like they were
trying out for baseball, but they couldn't swing hard enough, so they went to tennis.
Nah, I don't think so, man.
All right, well, the 4 sports we went with are tennis, golf, hockey, and lacrosse. So like they're high school sports, but they're the more, I guess, niche high school sports because not a lot of people play these compared to like, doesn't the football team have like 60 fucking players on it in high school?
No.
I feel like at our school,
it's got like 30.
At our school, they would let as long as you were like fucking over 5'11", if you were like 6 foot and like big, they just put your ass on the team just to be like a practice player for the good players.
Oh, and it didn't matter what size you were when you were a good player?
No, yeah, because I had fucking friends who were like bigger kids, right? And the coach literally walks up to the table, we're eating lunch, and he's like, hey, you want to be on the football team? And they're like, yeah. And then none of them ever played. They were just like
benched,
part of practice, part of like the games, but they were on the bench the whole time. So they were basically just there to like help the actual players run like drills and shit, you know?
Yeah, that fucking blows, dude.
Yeah, it's fucking trash. But I mean, they literally just took the biggest kids they could, I guess, to like train up the good kids.
That's fucked up.
All right, what do you want to go first or second?
Yeah, I'll go first. The first one off the list for me is lacrosse.
Oh shit, lacrosse.
I think it's the game that I would play the most out of all these, which is kind of funny to say because as an adult I play more golf than I do any of these other sports. But I think in high school I would have liked to play lacrosse. It's a very active game. It's physical like football, but it's like endurance wise like soccer.
Yeah,
you have to be running back and forth and shit.
I can see that.
But I just saw a video of lacrosse. It's kind of funny. That's what made me think of this one gotta go, where like this kid like plows this dude into the ground.
Oh, I saw that. The big guy.
Yeah, and then his buddy comes over to try to help him, and he gets knocked the fuck out by the same dude. And he's running at him full speed, dude, and the dude's just like bam. And then this other kid's coming at him, and he fucks him up too. So
yeah, you can truck fucking people in lacrosse. Yeah. Our cousin played lacrosse. Our cousin Kevin.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I remember that shit.
He was on high school lacrosse.
He used to put up Snapchats of it. I remember that shit. Yeah, I think lacrosse is cool, bro.
I think it's cool too.
I really fuck with it.
You think you would have been like really able to like be good at it? I feel like it's hard as fuck to be throwing that fucking little.
I think you get used to it.
I don't know the rules.
I mean the net.
You know the rules?
I don't know the rules, but I feel like the pole or whatever that you hold, it's like you're more likely to catch it in that thing than you are in like a glove probably, and I can catch a ball in a glove. I don't know. The glove's actually bigger, so it might be fucking better, but I don't fucking know, bro. It just seems cool to me. I mean, it seems like an intense, high energy kind of game. I don't know how long the rounds are, if there's rounds or if it's just like continuous play, but what I know from lacrosse is you got to fucking get the ball from one side to another and make it into a net. So,
all right.
Yeah.
That's dope. I fucking remember when we were younger, we'd go play soccer. There's like a private high school around here. And they had goals in the back. And we'd go use their goals. But sometimes their goals would get like chained up to a fence. but their lacrosse goals wouldn't get chained up. So we'd like grab their lacrosse goals and set them up as if they were soccer goals, and then play like 4v4s, 5v5s with their shit.
They didn't give a fuck about the.
Well, I don't even
goals.
know. They never caught us, and we used to fucking like, you know, the big lights that fields have, like football fields.
Yeah.
Like we'd turn on their lights. Like if it started getting dark at like 7, we'd go over there and flip the big ass switch, and the lights would just turn on, and then we just fucking play in the dark.
Wasting the energy and shit.
Yeah, and then we'd turn it off when we left, and we'd put it away and everything. But I guess we were kind of like.
Well, I mean, your parents pay taxes.
Is that kind of like vandalism?
No, it's not vandalism.
Not really vandalism, but if they caught us, I'm sure they'd like we'd get in trouble, right?
That's always kind of weird to me, right? Because it's a public school.
Well, private school.
Oh, you guys did it at a private school.
Yeah, because the public school's right next to it, but the public school doesn't have soccer goals.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because it's obviously.
I mean, I still don't think it's vandalism, but I mean, you are fucking trespassing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we always had that worry, you know, like, what if we get in trouble? But at the same time, it's not like we ever just left shit out, you know, we always put it back.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we would have got a slap on the wrist or something. For me, though, out of these 4, number 1, hockey. Easy, bro. Hockey, because when I was a kid, I used to skate all the time with like skates. And I bought hockey sticks at a fucking yard sale, and I had like a ball, and like me and my friends would play, but all we had was like 4 hockey sticks, so we could only ever play like 2-on-2 or some shit.
Yeah.
But hockey just always seemed like something I could do. It didn't seem that difficult, especially because in high school I knew a couple of the hockey kids, and they weren't really like what you would picture if you think hockey, like NHL or even the local hockey team here, right? Like big ass motherfuckers. They were like little dudes who just had $700 to spend on hockey equipment, because it's expensive as fuck to play hockey.
It's kind of funny too, because like we have like a semi-pro hockey team here.
Yeah.
But like I don't feel like hockey is part of our culture here, you know? Like you would think that those teams would be where like the culture kind of like is around it, you know?
Like colder places?
Like kids playing hockey at like hockey rinks here,
like in the lake
like
or something?
It doesn't happen, you know?
Well, we only have one fucking rink.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the thing. Like there's quite a few soccer fields here. There's quite a few fucking football fields, you know, but there's nowhere you can go really to play hockey with your friends.
Well, there's also colder places too. Like if you live in like Michigan or Detroit or all, I think they have like lakes and shit that freeze over and kids can just play on.
Yeah, and kids play on. Yeah, that's true. Which I guess the lake out in Nampa did freeze.
It does that shit too?
Yeah, some guy in my training class said they went and walked out like hella into that lake.
Yeah, fuck that. Fucking fall through and die on some
That'd be
fucking
wild.
Adam Sandler shit.
Or even if you
What's
just
that
eat
movie?
shit and hit your head. Oh, fucking Mr. Deeds. Bro.
Yeah, on some Mr. Deeds shit, fall through the ice.
Get a black foot.
I'm not trying to do that.
Because his thing died.
My high school was the Lions, and then we had another high school that's like our rival high school, and they were the Eagles, Capital Eagles. And because the two teams didn't have enough players when they played hockey, they the two schools like joined together to make a hockey team, and they were like the Griffins.
Who the fuck were they playing though?
The other high schools, the richer kid high schools, I guess, like in Mountain View and like the richer neighborhoods.
Oh, weird.
I think we had just enough like high schools that had teams.
That's kind of cool though. The Griffin.
Yeah, the Griffin, like a lion, half eagle. I thought that was creative as fuck. I was like, that worked out so well for you guys.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, I'd go hockey number 1. I think as a kid, I just had such a big like infatuation with like skating. Like I loved skating. I would go to skate parks, and like back in the day, like I used to watch the Mighty Duck movies all the fucking time, and it just made hockey seem so much cooler than it probably really is. I bet it's not as cool as it's fucking depicted in the Mighty Ducks.
That's what movies do, man.
That's what movies do, man. It made me want to play. Like you watch Remember the Titans, and I was like, damn, I should have went to a school that was separated, man. No, not really.
What the
fuck?
fuck?
Not really.
Wishing that? What the fuck?
Not wishing it. Not really. I'm just kidding.
I wish.
But hockey, bro, number 1. It just seems fun as fuck. Plus, it's also a contact sport. You bash some motherfuckers in hockey.
Yeah, they get crazy. They get into brawls on that shit.
Yeah, and I don't think refs even care. Like they're like
they do care. You go to a penalty box, but I mean they're kind of watching.
Yeah, they're not gonna get in the way.
Yeah.
I think it's because they're scared. They're on skates because they know if like everybody falls over, you catch you catch a sharp ass skate somewhere.
That'd be wild.
Fucking cut off your arm or some shit.
All right, man. Well, my number 2, hands down, is golf.
Golf, nice.
Because as an adult, I fucking golf, and it's not as boring as I thought it was. Like, that shit takes some fucking skill, bro. You have to have, like, angles right, and you got to fucking know how hard to hit it and shit. Like, it's not as easy as Wii Golf where, like, you can pick the numbers, you know? You got to fucking actually, like, know what you're doing, you know? It's got to be a feeling, man. Because there's no fucking arrow going up and down telling you where that shit's going to land.
What I like about it is, like, there was no, like, certain skill level we needed just to play it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like, we were able to play and just all suck together.
Yeah, yeah, and you kind of adapt, you know, because, like, oh, I hit that shit too hard this time, you know? I gotta kind of lean off of that shit.
Yeah, it lends itself to, like, the casual player pretty well because, like, you can feel like you did really good even though you know you're not, like, amazing at it.
Yeah, yeah.
And you still feel good about it.
Yeah, I love golf, man. If I could go back to high school and I knew we had a high school, like, golf team, I would have probably played, to be honest, because it's, like, so competitive, too, because, like, there's this motherfucker we go with. His name is Mike, and that fool was always killing it, bro. Like, he was always fucking, like, under 30 or
Did
under 40
our
or
golf
whatever.
shit, like, I feel like we would all be doing good, and then everybody would get to, like there were certain holes, like, I feel like we'd get to, and then we'd all hit, like, fucking 9 on that hole, and we'd be like, fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
We suck at putting.
But I think that motherfucker also, like, practiced outside of when we went. Because there's no way. He was just, like, getting better and better.
In his yard, just
Yeah.
fucking hitting by himself.
Or something, man.
Practicing his swing.
Yeah, I really like the competitiveness of it. Like, you can. This is like a sport where you can actually see yourself getting better by having your number drop. Like, you can, you physically see that. You know, you're like, oh shit, last time I hit like 30 plus. This time I hit like a 20, 25 plus. You know, you got 5 strokes better or whatever. So I really like that part of it too. Because, like, when we first started, I think we were hitting like 40 plus or something.
I don't know. I like how it's done. How, like, informal it is. I like how you can play it, but you're just basically bullshitting and hanging out the whole time.
Yeah, yeah, literally. And I mean, the golf course we go to, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's a small one.
But I know sometimes you have to, like, dress up for that shit, or they won't let you play and shit. But I don't know. We do go pretty far to play, though. For me, it's pretty far.
We haven't tried a big course out yet.
Yeah, yeah. We still need to. We need to try an 18 fucking hole course, man.
I think those are the ones, though, where you got to wear, like, the nice pants and the shirt.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably wear it and then take it off mid-course or something.
You got to look the part, man.
Just change and shit.
Those are the ones, too. Like, I don't know if I want to walk that shit. Like,
No, yeah, we definitely get a cart.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, man, because I kind of like the walk-in on the 9-hole course.
Yeah, I feel like it's just the same but double, right?
Yeah, yeah, and we walked it twice. We played like 2 rounds on that shit.
It's hard to drive, too, when you have, like, 6 people. Like, you got to drop some motherfucker off every 7 feet.
Yeah, that's true. But golfing number 2, man. I love the sport now that I'm an adult. And I think I would have loved it as a kid if I played it.
All right, well, we agree here because golf is number 2 for me, too, man. I think the biggest thing about golf for me, like I said, is we go and we have fun, and it's like...
We're just bullshitting, bro.
Yeah, it's bullshitting. Like, you're just hanging out with your friends and fucking talking shit, like playing golf, and you don't feel pressured at all to do good. Because, like, if I go to the park and play pickup basketball, like, with my friends, right? Like, shit gets real, you know? You're trying to beat the kids who challenge you on the court, and, like, it's serious. Not serious to where, like, I'm going to beat his ass, but you're, like, really trying to win. Or, like, you go play pickup soccer, you're really trying to win. But, like, golf is just us fucking talking shit to whoever got last place. You can get close to last place, but if you didn't get last, nobody cares.
And then it was so funny watching somebody, like, putt, like, 6 times on the green. Fuck.
Yeah. Or fucking those moments where, like, we're all just sitting there and, like, you don't expect someone to make a chip shot and they make it and you're like, oh, shit.
That was wild. Yeah.
How did you do that? Like, everybody's like, what the fuck? Because we obviously suck. So whenever anybody did something amazing, it was just so much more amazing.
Yeah. One of my unspoken, like, favorite things about doing that shit is finding golf balls, too.
Oh, yeah, because
like,
you don't have to pay for them.
colored ones. Yeah, I don't know why. It's just cool to... Yeah, probably because I don't have to pay for them, but yeah.
Yeah, that's the fuck. It's a deal, bro. I like that shit. I think Diego was the one that first was like... Our friend Diego was like, let's go fucking golf, because his friends took him golfing. And he took us, like, once, and I feel like we went for, like, 3 months.
Yeah, we're going, like, once or twice a week.
Yeah, at least. It's a good fucking time, man. I recommend it to people because, honestly, if you look at it from the outside, because I was like you, I was like, this looks fucking stupid. Like, why the fuck do people go to golf courses?
Yeah.
And I always expected it. I mean, it's kind of pricey. It's like what, $20 if you go to a bigger course probably, but I thought it was way more. Like I thought you had to be a member of like every course to play. I didn't even really know yet there was public courses.
You had to fucking publicly like put yourself in like an organization or something.
Yeah, I was like, damn, my mom doesn't own no fucking franchises, so I can be part of this country club
My grandpa didn't have a fucking
and go play golf with these
hedge
motherfuckers.
fund. But yeah, that shit's cool, man.
Yeah, I like golf, man. It's fun. Fucking David bought me a.
He bought us reverse, bro, because you got like a wedge, right?
I got a wedge,
And I got a 9.
Yeah, yeah.
But I love the wedge, and you love the 9. And I think he did it on purpose.
Yeah, what
no,
a
on
fucking
accident.
bastard.
I think he did it on accident, and then he just kind of rolled with it. He's like, I want you guys to try new clubs.
Yeah, he got his clubs for Christmas. So I'm
But I
psyched to try
appreciate that
shit
guy.
out.
Appreciate that guy. Yeah, I still got a new one, bro.
Because the weather will probably be good enough next month, like late March.
Yeah, I'm trying to change my schedule so I can have Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays off, and for sure I'm gonna hit up the golf course one of those days.
Golf number 2, though. In high school, not in high school actually, but in junior high, I was gonna play golf. Me and this kid Jordan, and he ended up playing, and I ended up being like, I don't have money to play, because you had to buy all your own golf clubs, and at the time, I didn't even connect the fact that I could have probably went to the youth ranch and bought like. For like $50, bought all of them or whatever, you know. I was just like, I ain't got no fucking money for golf clubs,
Well, I mean,
bro.
as a kid, you don't really think about it, right?
Yeah, like I just thought it was expensive.
You did that shit, and then I did it, and I found gloves for like $10.
Yeah,
It's wild.
I thought it was too pricey. When I was in 7th grade, so I didn't play. And I know he still plays because I talk to him still. Like we keep in touch.
He's probably good.
And
though,
he's
dude.
like still plays. So he's probably like he got like an 8-year fucking head start on me. That bastard.
He'd fucking go with us and be like, "What the fuck am I doing playing with these guys?"
Yeah, because I don't even think we know real rules.
Well, I mean, there's not really any rules, but we all for sure get over par.
Well, we also mulligan all the fucking time.
I haven't really mulliganed, bro. Like I'll just take my shitty shot, you know.
Nah, we mully all the time, bro.
Nah, fuck no.
Everybody's mully.
We let everybody choose, and I don't think I ever chose to mully. Maybe once or twice.
Nah, whenever we hit the really bad ones, like we've had games where like we hit it and the ball goes like sideways instead of forward, and you're like, all right, bro, you lost your ball. Mully.
I don't know, bro. I got some good strokes, bro. Where like they go super high and like drop down. Boom.
Yeah, on some of them, but that was like later. Like when we first started, we were all mulling all the fucking time,
ass, bro. That sucked ass.
All right, golf number 2. What are you taking?
So I got tennis and hockey left, and this is a really, really, really easy decision for me.
Is it?
I'm gonna get rid of hockey. I'm keeping tennis. I've never thought about playing hockey. I feel like I'd eat shit on the ice and I just quit. I got on a skateboard one time, ate shit down my driveway, and never got on that bitch again because it hurt so bad.
Just in your driveway.
And tennis, I mean, tennis is like hockey, bro, where like anybody can really pick it up.
You played tennis, didn't you? You played against your brother?
I played tennis, yeah. But my brother never played with me, dude. Like, he got into playing tennis with like one of his friends.
Right.
And that motherfucker never invited me. Yeah, him and his buddy would like go play and shit. And he was never like, oh, you should come play with us sometime. Nah, he was just telling me they were playing and shit.
Damn, bro. That's fucked up, Victor. You couldn't throw the invite out there?
Yeah, it was weird, bro.
You could rotate playing tennis.
But yeah, I mean, I like playing tennis. I bought rackets with my wife and we would go play at the fucking park and shit. It doesn't have to be super competitive, but it can be.
Right.
I really like the one-on-one aspect of it. Hockey's like a team sport, you know? I feel like you have to rely a lot on your buddies. And yeah, I mean, it's like I'm pretty passive when it comes to shit. And hockey's like super aggressive. Like people be brawling out there and shit. So I don't know. I might be about it. Like if I could hurt somebody, but then somebody hits me and I'd probably get pissed as fuck and like try to get revenge and shit.
Yeah. Plus it's hard as fuck probably if some dude catches you with like a punch to the back of the head. Like you got to be able to turn yourself around on the ice.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if I played hockey, I'd probably be the goalkeeper or whatever. Cause I'm wide and shit. Just fucking
with the big ass gloves.
Yeah. But I mean, that's not the coolest position, you know? In tennis, it's like all about me and shit, you know?
So you're taking tennis?
Yeah, I'm taking tennis. Tennis is getting intense, bro.
Tennis is fun. Watching pros play tennis is fucking crazy.
Yeah. It gets so intense, and they're fucking millionaires.
I always watch highlights. I never watch like an actual full set because they play like fucking 6 games or some shit, right?
Me either, man.
But like the highlights look cool. Like when the guy like hits the ball underneath their leg with the racket or some shit.
Yeah, the fucking there's a clip that I always remember, and it's not even about the tennis player. It's about a ball boy.
Oh, the one that hits the wall?
Yeah, he hits the wall and eats shit hard, bro. Like, that shit was funny. And then he just stands up like nothing happened.
All right, so you're going tennis. You got rid of what? Hockey?
I got rid of hockey.
Fuck. All right, well, I got lacrosse and tennis left. So, in my high school, I remember all the lacrosse kids were the kids that weren't good enough for the football team. Like, specifically remember, like, all these kids that tried for football, failed, and then they all ended up on the lacrosse team. So it kind of seemed like a team full of rejects to me. Plus, like, just from my personal experience, the kids on the lacrosse team were like the kind of kids you were like, are you even remotely athletic, bro? Like, are you good at some of them looked good at shit, like they actually play lacrosse. But a lot of them seemed just like the coach was like, fuck, I don't have enough players. You 8 kids are on the team now, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
That's the vibe I got from lacrosse in my high school. And then tennis, God, dude, I used to talk so much shit in tennis. Because, like, you know, regular PE, they make you play tennis.
No.
At my high school, regular PE, they made us play tennis a couple of times. And I would always challenge the kids who actually played tennis on the team. I was like, oh, fuck, if I'll fucking take you right now, bro, let's do this shit. And, like, I'd play against them, and I'd do okay, but they would always beat me, right?
Yeah.
But that didn't stop me from talking shit. Like, I would be like, you see how good I did? I scored on your ass. Tennis is fucking easy, bro. Just giving them all this shit. So I think I'm going to take tennis over lacrosse because, I don't know. Just my experience with people who play lacrosse, except for my friend Trevor, who was really cool, was that all those kids were, like, just weirdo, like, on the fringe of, like, society kids, man. Like, all of them were, like, the really weird kids with, like, the baggy ass dirty cargo jeans, you know, that I wouldn't want to hang out with them because they seem like not normal.
That's fucking weird, dude.
They just at my school, bro, I'm telling you, like, not nerdy, not like geeky or different kind of personality. They just seem like the kind of kids that were like on some fucking shoot up your school type shit on the lacrosse team.
We did have a my tennis team felt like that, bro. Like, it was all the nerdier kids like that were in band and shit. They'd like come to fucking tennis practice with their trombone and shit.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah, but so you're getting rid of lacrosse?
Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of lacrosse because I've played tennis and it's one of those things too. Like, I feel like it's like golf where I could get a racket, you could get a racket, and we could go play a game of tennis. That's obviously not gonna be like super high level competitive wise, but like for me and you, it would be. You know, we could play it probably normal as fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
Plus, this doesn't really count, but I used to play soccer tennis a lot, which is just tennis, but instead of having a racket, we would do it with a soccer ball.
Yeah, yeah.
And that shit is fun as fuck. And I don't know, it kind of relates to tennis in my mind, so fuck lacrosse.
All right, man.
I don't even know how you get into lacrosse. Like, is it expensive?
It's like a club sport, bro. That's why I was surprised to hear that your high school had a lacrosse team.
Yeah, all the schools around here do.
Because my school, I didn't know they had a rugby team, but they combined like all the schools because one of my cousins played rugby. And
our school had a rugby team too, but it was club.
So
like the school didn't pay for shit.
The 3 fucking schools in Nampa would all get together and have one team.
And then play the schools here?
Yeah, yeah, or wherever. Because we went all the way to like Twin Falls one time, or like
how far is that? Like 2 hours away or some shit?
2.5 hours, 3.
God damn, just to play a game of fucking rugby?
Yeah. And it's weird, dude. Like, I don't understand rugby. Because, like,
there's 2 different kinds. That's probably why.
Rugby, like, it's kind of like football, soccer, but I would see them stop sometimes and do, like, this, like, bridge pushing thing where, like, they would have 4 people on one side, 4 people on the other, and they'd basically be, like, bashing each other.
Yeah, it's called, like, a scrum or something.
Yeah, and then out of nowhere, they'd just, like, throw the ball back to somebody, and then they'd run. I don't know. It was weird. It was like, you know she's going to do that shit. Why aren't you fucking countering it? But they weren't. Like, I don't know. I guess there's rules or something about it.
I was working with a kid who played rugby actually for like the national team.
Oh yeah. I think you told me that.
He's on the U.S. rugby national team for like
what was his name?
U18s. Parker. His name was Parker Hersey.
Oh, okay.
He was like U18 rugby, but even at that level, like he was so good here that he was playing for the national team. He still had to pay for his own flights, his own hotels, everywhere they went. So like if they were having their national practices in like Atlanta, that motherfucker had to work, make the money, fly to Atlanta, practice, and then
what does he have to gain from that?
Well, I guess
because it sounds like big loss there.
Well, I guess ultimately, like if he loves it,
the sport.
yeah, if he loves the sport enough, I think there's pro teams like outside of the U.S.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think there's some in the U.S. too, but I don't think they're like
huge,
as prominent as they would be like in outside the U.S.
Oh yeah, when you got to pay for your own shit and you're on the national team.
But he also flew to like fucking Ireland and shit and like played against like the youth academies of like the bigger fucking actual rugby teams where people care about the sport more.
Yeah, yeah.
And I guess that's just like a sacrifice, you know, you want to make so you can get in front of those eyes and maybe make a team.
Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, I would do it honestly if the fucking like Mexican national soccer team was like, hey, come play for us, but you're gonna have to like fly yourself out here. I'd be like, fuck, dude, say less, bro. Say less. I'm coming out right now.
Goddamn. Yeah, especially if you're like, I don't know if that guy was single or didn't have kids and shit, but I'm assuming to be able to afford that, he did.
Yeah, I don't know why people get mad about that. Because, like, your brother, right, for instance, Victor, like, he was on that all-star football team. And, like, I bring it up to him sometimes, and he gets all, like, kind of, like, shy about it. And I'm like, come on, bro, you were a fucking all-star, bro. You were number one, bro.
I don't know. That's a weird thing because it's not, like, super high level, you know?
Yeah, but still.
It's, like, cool, right? But it's kind of like Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite, like, reminiscent on the old times. You know?
It's in the state, though, right?
I think that's the way he feels, right? Like, he doesn't brag about it because it feels like that.
It was in the state, though, right? He was, top player in the state for that grade level.
Yeah, yeah. And that motherfucker won prom king, too.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a popular kid.
He should wear that crown around sometimes.
Yeah.
Just walk around with his girlfriend.
I don't think he has it anymore.
They don't give it to you, do they?
There was like a special needs kid, and he gave it to him, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn, this dude's out here doing humanitarian shit.
It was cool, yeah.
All right, well, that's the one gotta go, man. I got rid of fucking lacrosse, and you got rid of hockey. There's real shit going on in the world right now, and it's like impossible not to talk about it because everybody knows about Ukraine getting fucking invaded by Russia right now.
Yeah, bro. I've been like stressing over it. I'm gonna be honest.
Like real stressing?
Like, I got a little bit obsessed with it where like I'd be looking for information every day.
I got obsessed with it too. I was all over looking at everything.
And I kept talking to this guy at work because I sit next to him and he's really knowledgeable and shit. Like, he's older, but he's like, he knows so much about technology. Like,
right.
He's not the type of guy that calls into a call center and is like, I don't know why my phone's not ringing and their fucking silent mode's on and shit. You know, he's not like that type of guy. He's like super smart. Knows about coding and all this shit. So we were talking about it, and every time I'd come to work, I'd be like, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? Like, they're doing this. I was like, I'm stressing over this shit. And he's like, you just got to put that shit down, man. Like, he didn't say it like that, but he's like, you know, it's depressing, man. But
it is depressing. Do
anything about it.
Do you think, or are you like me where like you see all this shit going on, right? And then as you're watching all these videos and all that shit, you like also look up to make sure what you just saw was real?
Yes, I have been doing that because, like, I come to work and tell him about something, and then he's like, I think that's, like, an old thing.
Yeah, like some old – because a lot of old videos of, like, different – not even the same fucking military, but, like, old shit was being posted, and people were like, this is happening in Ukraine. And I was like, is it? Because, like, I don't trust a lot of it, but I know a lot of it is fucking real. And some of the shit, dude, like, I watched the parts of the Biden speech and how he was talking about how Russia basically – when they came in, they basically declared that certain parts of the Ukraine were trying to become countries, sovereign countries on their own, and that he was just kind of coming in to liberate them or some shit. And I was like, dude, this is on some Hitler level shit, man. Like, because remember I told you, and I said it on the podcast a long time ago, that I went down a big ass World War II rabbit hole.
Yeah, yeah.
And how like at the very beginning, Hitler's like thing was like, oh, these people used to be part of the German Empire, so I want it back. And that's how he got the first couple countries he took over. And like the whole world was just like letting him do it. Like they would be like, oh, don't do it, and then talk it out. But they would ultimately be like, oh, you can have it, so that they didn't have to go to war, right? So I was getting that feeling from this because I was all like, fucking Russia's just trying to take the Ukraine because it used to be part of like the greater Soviet Union.
But they're going to move on from that.
Yeah, but they want more. That's just like a jumping off point, man.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I wish I knew more about history, and I kept telling that guy at work that I was talking to a lot. I wish I knew more about history so I could understand. But basically the way he explained it to me was there was a war, and when that war happened, the Ukraine literally split off from the fucking it used to be called
USSR?
Yeah, from the USSR. And so
I think
they've been butthurt since then about them being split. and they want it back. It's
Yeah,
like a
well,
pride thing. Basically,
one of the main reasons was because they lost a lot of resources and shit. Because it wasn't just Ukraine. I think there was a couple of places that actually turned into their own countries, like Kazakhstan and all those fucking places.
Yeah, and I mean, I think
was it Kazakhstan? I'm not sure. I know there's a chunk right there that all turned into their own countries.
It's like Crimea or something like that, something along those lines. But yeah. So basically, like their pride was hurt or whatever, so they want it back. But I've been getting all this mixed information, bro. So I heard that the reason the U.S. even said anything about Russia, because they had intelligence that was classified, right? So Biden declassified it and released a statement saying that Russia's going to invade on this day, which was a Tuesday. And he said the reason they did that was because they wanted to be transparent about everything, you know? Because when Vladimir Putin came out, he said that they were on a mission to get rid of Nazis in Ukraine, basically, was what he was saying. That's why they were invading.
Yeah, his whole claim was like they're there to defend the citizens.
Yeah.
But they're like attacking the country.
And it's wild, bro, because like we live in a different world than when wars used to happen, you know, because like you'd hear shit, a lot of shit got missed, but now you see like a lot of the shit that's actually happening inside the country of Ukraine that Russia's actually doing, right? So you see like tanks running over people in cars.
Yeah, I saw that video.
You see there's this video going viral of this lady walking up to Russian soldiers and she's basically telling them to get the fuck out of her country. And she's like, here, put these fucking sunflowers in your pocket so when they kill you, sunflowers will grow.
Oh, shit.
She literally said that and it's on recording and shit.
That's hardcore.
Like crazy shit, bro. Like they underestimated Ukraine because I'm seeing a lot of reports of like Ukraine actually fucking being able to hold off the Russians. And it's like a weird thing, bro, cuz like it makes me feel a certain type of way cuz I was telling my wife, I'm like, fuck, I want to go fight for Ukraine, bro. I told her that shit.
Yeah.
Cuz like I'm like, imagine if that's us and nobody fucking comes to help us. Like what Ukraine is literally doing is giving fucking guns to citizens, and they made the president declared that anybody 18 to 60 has to stay in the country to fight. Any man, yeah. So you can't fucking leave. And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. And then I'm seeing all these reports.
I saw videos of that. Did you see that there was like videos of like old, like 50-year-old dudes that were like hugging their families and shit, and then they'd like go off to like join the fucking military?
Fuck yeah, dude. And I've been seeing a lot of videos of professional Ukrainian sports athletes, right? Where like they could fucking flee, bro, but they're deciding to stay and fucking fight for their country. It's wild, dude. It's like inspirational and sad all at the same time. Like I'm telling you, that's why I've been kind of like drenched in all this, because we're living through a part of history, bro. This is gonna be like,
well, it's not even like fully what it could become, right? Because I've been talking about it a lot lately too, and I'm just like, all right, so we're at this point now, but I've read reports, I think yesterday, maybe even earlier today, where they're like Russia has like has high alert on like all their nuclear shit. Yeah, because the UN and like NATO and everything have like declared that they're gonna supply weapons to the Ukraine, and everything in the European Union, like Russian planes can't fly over that anymore. They cleared off the whole airspace. Yeah, so, like, it's getting tense as fuck.
Well, there's a lot of crazy shit happening, right? So I've heard that with the initial attack, Russia sent 50% of their fucking
like troops,
tanks, everything, right? And they're not really able to do anything, bro. Like they haven't been able to take the capital, which is what they're trying to do. The Ukrainians have been able to fight them off there. So, I mean, they're really, really fucking being notched down. Like they're getting fucked, dude. And Vladimir Putin is like a wild card, bro. He's like a Trump, bro.
Biden said he wasn't going to join the war, though, right? Like he made a statement where like the U.S. won't join unless it really affects us, right?
Yeah, he said we're not going to have ground troops on the floor unless he tries to go for a country that's part of the UN.
Yeah, and
but they do have soldiers around Ukraine because the countries around Ukraine are part of the UN, NATO, basically. Yeah. So I saw this thing, bro, where like they asked the president of Ukraine if he wanted the US to go in and like basically have him leave. And he's like, "Fuck no! Give me more ammunition, you know."
Oh yeah, because the president was posting like videos and shit, right, where he was all like, "Send us weapons and this, and I'm not leaving. Like I'm about to fucking fight these dudes."
Basically, they're holding them off, dude. It's fucking crazy. And yeah, I mean, Vladimir Putin said if anybody fucking gets involved, he's gonna fucking nuke.
Yeah, that's so.
Which is fucking wild.
That's what's affecting me, right? Because like I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, all right, no matter what, we know the Russia and the U.S. have like these very tense relations, right? And everybody's sanctioning the shit out of Russia right now.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
So if Russia ever feels like we've done a little bit too much to help the Ukraine or something, right? And because I don't know how long this will last. Fucking Iraq was what, 20 years?
Yeah.
So who fucking knows if like this is gonna be over fast or slow, or if like it'll escalate to like more conflict. So like if that motherfucker does choose to nuke shit, and then the U.S. is obviously gonna nuke in retribution or like at the same time or whatever, like. You're talking about millions. Like, we could die and we wouldn't even know. Like, we get fucking hit just close by and then fuck, we're out.
Yeah. That's what's wild, man. Like, we just don't fucking know. And you know what's weird to me, man? I feel like nobody wanted this war.
Nobody, like the countries?
Like, nobody. Yeah, nobody. Because I feel like the only person that wanted it was Vladimir Putin, because they're rioting in his country, the people, right?
Oh, I've seen the protests. Yeah,
like literally nobody else I have not heard one person say, "Fuck yeah, we want this shit." You know?
I saw a thing that I guess a bunch of people in Moscow were like protesting, like in the capital or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they all got arrested.
Yeah, it's fucking wild. They even arrested a Vice reporter.
I wouldn't do that shit in Russia, dude. Like, it's like
you'd be surprised the power of people, bro.
Getting
like
arrested, dude.
I could see like if everybody was on board, they fucking rush the capital and fucking take out Vladimir Putin.
But isn't that like a country that like used to throw people in like gulags and shit?
They are, yeah, but it's like weird, bro.
I think they have like they have like prisoner camps where they make people like I'm sure those people, it's dope as fuck that they were like willing to do that, but I don't think those people are fucked, dude.
Well, like it's fucking weird too, right? Because Russia asked Kazakhstan, who's one of their allies, for soldiers, and they refused to give them soldiers, dude. So that's fucking weird, right? Like one of your allies is refusing, but you know, it's funny too, because like the guy at work that I was talking to, he was saying how this was probably like China's gonna go after Taiwan next or something. And then there was like reports of like military ships and planes flying towards like Taiwan, which I think those were fake.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I didn't see any actual reporting on it.
I think China is gonna. I don't even know if they have or are in the process of, but they're pretty much taking Taiwan anyway, right?
Yeah. Because I am super like conflicted with my feelings, bro.
Do you see the thing about Ecuador?
Yeah, how they were supporting fucking Russia.
No, Ecuador basically.
Or Venezuela. That was Venezuela.
No, Ecuador. China doesn't want any country to recognize Taiwan as its own country, right?
Yeah.
And Ecuador didn't recognize them as their own country, so China is building like a giant ass library in Ecuador, and it's got like a giant like Chinese. It's gonna have like a giant Chinese symbol flag shit like in the corner of the big ass building.
I did see that, bro.
And I was just like, God damn, dude, it's getting fucking real all over the world.
It's weird, yeah. I never knew the significance of that because I remember there was a wrestler who like acknowledged Taiwan as a country. And then he had to go back and apologize.
John Cena, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was John Cena.
Yeah, they made his ass say that shit in like Mandarin.
He had to like apologize for saying that shit, which that's fucking weird to me, bro.
Well, it's because there's too much like business probably with the WWE and like Chinese business people.
Yeah, but they were also talking about like the rippling effect of China doing this shit because like oil prices are going to go up and shit.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, bro. It is a scary thing. That's why I was thinking about it so much because like, this shit could unravel into something serious, or it could be something not serious. Like, I don't know if you remember when like Iraq or Iran bombed like a base in Afghanistan that was the US's, and then Trump went and like killed one of their leaders or something.
Right.
I thought that shit was gonna turn into like a fucking war, dude. But it turned out to be nothing. Like, they bombed us. A bunch of people got like hearing loss, and then we killed one of their leaders, and nothing else happened from it.
Yeah, but you're also dealing with way less power, right? Like if Russia and like the US get into it for real, like there's a good chance that me and you, like if it ever got to the worst moment, because it could get so far like
where they
draft us. Yeah, we're part of the group of men that can be drafted, bro.
I'm fighting, dude. I'm fighting. Like, I don't know, man. Like, in situations like this, you really think about like how lucky we are to be free and shit, and we gotta fight for that, bro. Like, if it ever came down to it, I'm fighting for that shit.
Yeah, you'd have to.
Yeah, because I mean, look at how they're treating the people in Russia for
Do you
protesting.
think it get that bad?
Do I think it'll?
This
do I think this
situation.
situation will escalate? Nah, I think Vladimir Putin's gonna walk away with his fucking tail between his legs once he sees that he couldn't do shit.
With Ukraine?
Yeah, that's what I hope for, right?
But do you think he'll take Ukraine?
I don't think he's gonna take Ukraine
Because he could take Ukraine and we won't do anything.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Or at least that's the position, right?
Yeah, and then it's gonna make him look like a bitch because he tried to make a power move and then it backfired on him, right? So I think it'll lessen like the way Russians see him, right? Because he went in there with like, I think it was I was talking about this with the guy at work. We were talking so much about it, bro.
Yeah.
And
it's interesting as fuck.
Teddy Roosevelt had like this famous saying where he was like walk tall and carry a big stick or something.
Uh-huh.
So Vladimir Putin is like doing that right now. He's like he was walking tall, right? And he was carrying a big stick, but that stick's kind of been shrunk, bro, because the Ukrainians are fucking giving them a fight, bro.
It's also, you also don't really know what's happening, right? Because you get reports from like the Ukraine people, and it's like, oh, we've knocked out these many airplanes, this many tanks and shit, and then you get reports from the fucking Russian side, and they're like, oh, we've already taken this many cities, and like I think they have control over Chernobyl right now, like the nuclear site.
Yeah. There's just so much fucking news, bro. It's hard to take everything in because one moment I'm seeing like somebody living in Ukraine reporting about what's happening where they're at. Another moment I see Anonymous is fucking commenting on it, how they're like using their world hackers.
Is that that famous like Twitter thing?
Yeah. So they're using their hack power to fucking hack Russian like news sites and shit. Apparently Russia has taken down their news stations because they don't want them reporting like all the negative shit that's happening.
Yeah, you got to control the media in your country.
Because you don't want your fucking country to go into a revolt,
or demoralize like your troops.
Yeah. Because I mean, there was a Russian tennis player, and he was playing a match somewhere in Europe or something, and he walks up to the camera and he's like, "Stop the war" or something, you know, right? I mean, I'm telling you, bro. Everybody I've seen that's come out publicly has said like, "We don't want this war. We don't want this war. We don't know why the fuck this war is happening." But that's why I'm saying I think the only one that really wanted it was fucking Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, dude. It's just a dude trying to take some shit. So I'm big in the soccer world, obviously, right? Love soccer.
Yeah.
And there's a soccer player that plays for like Benfica.
Uh-huh.
And he got subbed on, and he's like from Ukraine, and like the whole crowd just starts fucking chanting like that they don't want the war and shit, and the dude like gets hella emotional, and like the team gives him like the captain's armband, and like the whole crowd's just fucking like on his side, and that's just there. Like I've seen fucking protests in Canada, here at the Capitol. I think there's people right at the Capitol right now, like at Washington D.C. It's like surrounded by people protesting the war.
I don't get it though. Like it's not our war, you know. Like
I think it's just to show support, right? They're like they're protesting that it's happening because they think it shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
And it's everywhere. I saw it there. I think there was reports in like England and Spain, Belarus, the country right next to them.
Yeah.
I actually saw a thing that said that the leader of the Ukraine, what's his name? Like Zadaisky or something?
It's Zelensky or something
yes,
like that.
something like that. He's agreed to like meet with like Russian leaders on the border of Belarus because that country like is border to both.
Uh-huh. To try to talk some peacemaking or something?
I don't know if it's to talk peace or if it's just like a meeting where like they're going to try to like be like, hey, calm your shit or we're going to come in full force, or because it could be anything like that, you know? It could be for peace. It could not be for peace, but they're like agreeing to meet each other like on a Monday, I think.
Yeah. So it's Zelensky, and fucking that dude's wild, dude. He's wild. So he comes out and he's like, so we got information that I'm the number one target and my family's the number two, but I'm not fucking going anywhere. The U.S. is like, you want to ride out? He's like, nah, I don't need a ride. I need fucking ammunition.
Yeah, because we could get him out, right? That's what they said. I remember seeing that. They were like, we'll get you out. And he was like, fuck you guys. I'm out here trying to fucking throw some hands.
Yeah. He's like, I'm fucking... That's why, dude, I got respect, dude. It gives me chills, dude, because, like, this is real-world shit that you see in movies. Like, this isn't shit people actually do, bro. Like, it's so easy. It would be so easy for him to say, nah, fuck that. I'm out, you know? Fuck.
It's happened. And during World War II, when I was going through it, there's a lot of leaders that, like... Dipped.
Yeah. And he's like, fuck no. And... he's always kind of been chill about it, bro. Because when the U.S. released like the classified information and declassified it or whatever, and said they were gonna be attacked, he's like, it's a fucking everyday thing here, man. You know, it's whatever.
He's on his pirate shit, man.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going down with my ship, or I'm gonna fucking win.
Yeah.
One of the two.
That's honorable as fuck, dude. I feel like if that happened in Russia, that motherfucker would be the first to head out to like North Korea or something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because it's kind of like how Ted Cruz, you know, everybody was fucking pissed when he left Texas because it was too cold.
Yeah.
And like he got so much shit from everybody, and that's not even close to the level of like the leader of a country fucking dipping out while his country's getting invaded.
Yeah. It's, oh my God, dude. It's fucking wild. Like, even as we're speaking right now, I just got an ESPN like alert here, and it says Vasily Lomachenko, who's number 8 pound for pound boxer.
Oh yeah, the boxer
Just went to go join the defense battalion in Ukraine. Like, that's fucking wild, dude.
Yeah, I saw a whole soccer team that
did that same shit, bro.
plays in Ukraine, and then they stopped playing and they joined the army.
Yeah, that's so dude, I'm getting chills as I'm talking about it, because like how easy is it for them to just leave, bro? Like, you know, I would think like
people of high prominence,
their family's good, they're choosing to go back and fucking fight, you know? It's fucking wild, dude.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of those fucking photos where like they compare like what happened in Bosnia like in the 90s.
Yeah.
To like what's happening now, and I'm just like, fuck, bro, it looks so bad, because like they showed a building of a Bosnian building that was like destroyed by like missiles, or it looked like it was fucking blown up.
Yeah.
And then there was a picture of like a building in some city in Ukraine that also had a bunch of like holes in it from like looks like explosions and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, dude, shit's getting real. Is there any videos that you saw that you were like, whoa, this video is fucking crazy?
I've seen a lot of them, dude. I mean, I've told you some of them already, but like seeing that fucking fighter jet going over and then dropping bombs next to like a residential house.
Yeah, that lady films it like through her window, right?
Yeah, and then you hear like the little kid crying, and then it kind of just cuts out. That was one crazy video. The other one I saw was that guy getting run over by the tank dude just driving by.
The after of that was crazy, because like the people recording it are freaking out, and you see it happen like live. The fucking dudes just run over the car.
Yeah.
But then you see everybody try to save him, and the guy's like, it looks like his body's like fucking squished in between the doors and shit.
Yeah, there's just so many, bro. Like, one that was really like, what the fuck was that island where there was 13 soldiers?
Okay.
And a Russian warship was right outside the island, and it's like, surrender, Ukraine, surrender. We got you surrounded. And they're like, they said something along the lines of, fuck you, Russian warship. Like they literally responded like that, and then like a couple hours later, they're all dead, dude. There was only 13 people on that island, and they told them to fuck off.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and then they all died. So, I mean, like, so much shit like that.
I saw one that was like, I don't even know if it's real, because it didn't seem real, but at the same time, it did seem real. It was like there was some tanks, and I guess some like local farmers fucking hooked up a tank to like their tractor and like started driving off with that shit.
Fuck.
Like an unmanned tank. So I don't even know if it was like a Russian tank. It just seemed like they were like, fuck this, and they like hooked it up and like stole it.
Yeah. You know what I'm gonna say, bro? Oh, I think I did see that.
Yeah, it's like a blue tractor taking off a tank.
Never mind.
They like hooked it up and just drove off with it.
No, the other one that I saw was like this guy pulls up to a tank that's broken with Russians and shit, and he's like, oh, you guys need a fucking tow back to your country? I'll fucking tow you back to your country right now.
Well, there's a lot of shit you think about when it happens, because like even from my perspective, like our cousin Kevin's in the military, right? So like if shit it did get real, like you're talking like
he's going to war, bro.
Yeah, he's like a regular Marine. He's not like a high-ranking dude. So he's like infantry. Like those are the dudes they send in. To fucking be on the ground.
Front line, bro. It's fucking wild. But I've seen a lot of videos, man. A lot of videos. It does make me question what's real, what's not, you know, because maybe they're showing us shit that they want us to see, you know, kind of. I don't know. But for sure, I think Russia's going to end up behind with this. They're going to have people they lost. I don't think they're going to end up with Ukraine. That's just what I'm thinking at this point.
Do you think the guy's so crazy, though? Because, like, Putin's the kind of person, not that I know him, but he's the kind of person that, like, seems to me that if he doesn't win and, like, doesn't get the country, like Ukraine, is crazy enough to start nuking some shit. And even if he just nukes there, like, regionally, like, I feel like that in of itself is enough for like the bigger countries, you know, that can like
to get involved, right?
Yeah, to get involved, which would be like fucking ridiculously crazy.
So when this all first started, it was weird, bro. So Vladimir Putin was like, I'm going to talk about a situation I've never talked about before. And then he goes on talking about how one time he met with Clinton
Oh yeah, I saw
and
that.
he asked him what he thought about them joining NATO, and that Clinton was kind of like laughing about it, like, you know, like not. I can't remember what the
it wasn't
exact
laughing.
reaction was.
He didn't say yes or no, but he gave off the body language that
like no. Yeah. So I mean, that could just be another mind trick that fucking Putin's using. Because I don't know if you know, but Putin used to be a fucking like spy.
Yeah, I saw that too. I saw how he took over the country, which was crazy.
Yeah. He's literally a dictator, bro. Because I guess when they vote and shit, like he has like people outside like coercing people to fucking vote for him and shit.
Yeah. It's democratics in like, what's the word? It feels democratic, or he makes it feel democratic, but it's skewed as fuck for him.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because like the guy I was talking to at work, he told me like a lot of shit happens after like the Olympics.
Oh, that makes sense, because that's how the World War II started.
Yeah, it's always after Olympics. So like the Winter Olympics just ended, and then this happened.
Oh yeah.
And then I guess when they did the Sochi Olympics,
yeah, they cheated. They hella cheated.
Well, besides that, he went into Crimea or whatever.
Kremlin?
No.
Crimea?
Yeah, it's like Crimea or something. It's like a section of Ukraine that's kind of like, because I guess there was a part of Ukraine that basically considered themselves Russian, like they didn't want to be a part of Ukraine. So that's what he took first.
Well, because they're the same people. Like ultimately, there's the same people. They just like the country's only split like 70 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's all, there's a lot to it. It's fucking wild. We've been talking about it for half an hour. It's fucking depressing, but I think it needed to be talked about because, bro, it's been on my mind all week.
Me too. It's interesting. Plus, it's like news that like it could be relative to us like super fast.
Yeah,
you got to be informed, man. If you're not informed, then you're just a piece of shit. Because like this is stuff happening for real. Like you told me that shit. Is that shit about Elon Musk like doing the Starlink thing in Ukraine real?
Yeah, like there's been multiple reports. Yeah.
So he gave them free internet.
He gave them all free internet.
Like,
yeah.
So that they can like get out their stories.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I saw? It's kind of stupid, but like I'm big into anime, right?
Yeah.
I watch One Piece all the time, and this flag right here is One Piece. And there's like a tweet, not a tweet. I can't remember if it was a tweet or a post or whatever, right? But a guy in Ukraine who's been watching One Piece for a long time posted about how he was like really close to where there was action happening, and he was scared he was gonna die, and that he like put a bunch of his like regrets and shit. And like one of his regrets was like he won't get to see the end of a show that he loves, and like that's the show he mentioned, right?
Yeah.
And all that shit, and I was just like, God damn, dude, it's so real. Like these people are like really talking about like things they've loved or like they like to watch, and like just questioning that moment in such like clarity, you know?
Yeah.
Like, dude, and I don't even know if that dude survived. Like it's all over Reddit right now. Nobody even knows if that guy like made it.
Yeah, that's fucking wild, dude. I mean, there's so much wildness going on with all of this, but I think in the end, if he's not able to take over Ukraine, I think his people are going to turn on him for sending them to a senseless war that's leaving them with less resources. You know, I think this might do a change, bro. I mean, I got to believe that not everybody that's in his circle is as crazy as he is, right? So, I mean, I got to think at some point, somebody...
It's hard to tell because it's true of even like Hitler, because when it happened in the World War II, like his own people tried to assassinate him like fucking 12 times.
Yeah.
It just never worked.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, it's got to be like wild. I don't think it's a wild thing to think that not everybody's on the same page with him, but since he is like the higher power
and he owns the military and everything.
Exactly. Yeah, they kind of go along with it, but I think there might be a point where they're like, nah, fuck this motherfucker, you know, like
try to take him out.
All the sanctions that they're putting on them right now, that's gonna lead to less food for them, less technology, less work.
Like ultimately, basically, doesn't it? You're kind of like taking food like out of grocery stores and shit. Like it's gonna be harder to get shit.
I mean, it's part of it, right? So basically, what they do with sanctions is like, we're not gonna do any fucking trade with them, right? And they can't do any trade with anybody that doesn't want to do trade with them either, you know, which is like all of NATO.
But they could get supported by like a different, like China or something.
They could, but I mean, I don't think that China could provide. I don't think China's gonna want to take on that burden, bro, because that's like not their country. You know, I'm sure they'd provide some sort of aid.
Economically, though, they could like it could be like a boom because they can make so much money because no one else is gonna sell you anything, so they can charge Russia like
a premium. But then that still fucks their people over because they're not gonna have work. Because I heard I follow this farmer here in Oahe,
Okay.
and he was talking about how like this is gonna have a trickle down effect on the world because Russia provides like 25% of farmed goods. So that's 25% that other farmers have to make up for. And so, I mean, 25% is a huge number of fucking world food supply, you know?
Yeah.
So I gotta think that that's a large portion of where their income comes from.
Russia's also like in control of Germany's like entire energy grid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Germany was one of the first countries that like really went with like the green initiative shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So they got rid of all their nuclear reactors, right?
Okay.
All of them. They got rid of all of them.
And
so
then
they have no nuclear energy. So their nuclear later on it was discovered or like they figured out that nuclear energy is actually safer and cleaner than like all the wind energy and shit that they're trying to do over there.
Yeah, yeah.
So they built like a giant pipeline of gas for like gas and shit all the way to Russia.
Oh, wow.
From Germany because they were using that to get their energy.
Yeah, yeah.
And because Russia is now doing this and Germany is part of NATO, like there's been about a bunch of speculation about how like Russia can pretty much shut that down and like fuck Germany over pretty quick in terms of like their energy resources.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
And
man.
I was seeing that and I was just like, fuck. And Germany is considered one of the top powers in the world. Like militaristically, I think they're like number 1 or 2 in the like EU, like European Union.
Uh-huh.
So like if something like that goes down, that gives like Germany reason to like be like, fuck these guys, you know? Like shit can get so real so fast.
Yeah, yeah, it can, man. And like I said, there's like so much to it. So I was like, when we were talking about it, me and the other guy, some other guy kind of like started talking about it too. And he's like, what does that really mean? Like sanctions and shit. And I mean, it's kind of what we talked about, but I guess like a majority of the world's financial institutions use this system called SWIFT, which is basically the system that like sends notes on how transfers are happening. It's like the system that makes all those transfers and shit.
Yeah.
So as part of sanctions, like the very first thing that happens is they shut that off for Russian banks.
I saw that. So that's like that shit where that connects like their Apple Pays and their Google Pays, right? So,
basically, yeah.
Because I saw that their Google and Apple Pay might not work anymore because the banks can't reach like those companies.
Exactly. And I mean, it's most financial institutions. I mean, all financial institutions, I would say, use this system. So, I mean, that right there just cuts the cord for them being able to digitally transfer any sort of money and shit, you know? So,
outside the country.
Outside the country. Yeah, you're right.
Because they can still use it inside.
Yeah. They can still use it inside because there's no sanctions for themselves, right? So that shit's just all crazy, man. I mean, I'm telling you, bro, mark my words, and I hope people hear this. Like, he's going to walk back home with his fucking tail between his fucking legs. And I feel like the Russian people are going to think of him as a bitch, bro.
I mean, that could be true. I mean, I see that point of view, but I also see the point of view of like
nuclear war.
And I'm so worried about that because
you don't want to die just fucking
I'm so far from it, right? Like we live here and I don't want to know if this is true of like other Western powers or whatever, but like us personally, we try to be so we're not attached to like real information, right? So like this shit's going down and it could escalate to that. And a lot of the people here won't even think about it because they're like, oh, just live your daily life, right? Because why the fuck would you bother, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, fuck, bro. Like, if it gets so real where, like, nuclear shit does go down, like, I don't think the world really understands, like, how bad it would be if everyone just starts nuking each other. Like, a kid at my work specifically, right? I'm talking to him, and he's all like, yeah, but if they do it, then we'll launch ours, and we'll be able to stop a majority of theirs. And I was like, listen, all right, I'm not an expert, but I really doubt that if they shoot their missiles and we shoot our missiles, they're all just going to hit each other in the air, bro. They're going to fucking land, and we're going to bomb the shit out of them. They're going to bomb the shit out of us. And I don't know if we're like a tertiary, like a lower level target, but we have military bases in our area. And I'm not saying they're like primary targets, but like I'm sure it's on the fucking list, bro.
I don't think so, man. I think the bigger cities are on the list because when they're trying to nuke, they're trying to take out as many people as they can.
We're not that far from big cities, though. We're pretty close to Seattle and Portland.
Yeah, but I think the radius of a nuke isn't that wide, bro. Like, it's not as wide as you're trying to make it.
No. I don't think it's that wide. I just think that, like...
I mean, the radiation and shit, yeah, but I think...
Yeah, I think it's going to hit.
I do think... I'm kind of a little bit with that guy, bro, because I do think since we spend 10 times more...
We spend so much.
The next 10 countries
but we have
on
less
military
missiles than them, though.
That's fine, bro. I would at least think that we have some sort of like
Contingency,
something that they would send
like a
to
net.
something, bro. Like, I mean, something to try to stop a nuke from actually hitting the U.S. Because
Well, we got to, right? There's got to be some sort of net, not like
who
a
was
real
it?
net, but like a. There's got to be some sort of like designated areas where we're sure we can like minimize damage somehow.
There was
don't
another
know
war,
how,
bro.
but-
I can't remember which war it was or who was fighting, but I remember that country had like this thing called the dome, where like missiles were coming in,
That's
but
Israel.
they couldn't fucking hit
I
because
think.
of the dome, bro. I think you're right. And they couldn't hit because of this like anti-missile system that they had. It was crazy.
But I don't think they were using like nuclear missiles though.
It doesn't matter though, bro. What's a nuke? It's a fucking rocket. It's just like got a bunch of power, right?
Yeah, but like a lot of power. Like nukes are fucking like we nuked Japan twice and it stopped the whole war with them.
Well, yeah.
And that was only 2. We're talking like plus 5,000 each country.
And then people were like being born deformed. and
Yeah,
shit.
it destroyed those cities for like I think those cities like barely bounced back like within the last couple like 40 years, 30 years,
Yeah.
right? Cuz like they had a nuclear fallout. That shit'll fuck you up, bro. And now everybody's so capable.
So it says like if a nuke hits, it hits up to a radius of 53 miles.
That's far as fuck.
People in 53 miles would experience temporary blindness.
Within or would die?
Within.
What's the death zone? We're talking like 20 miles?
First degree burns would be felt up to 7 miles away from it.
Because if you nuke like New York, it would take like what, 3 missiles to fucking destroy the whole city?
Yeah.
Maybe. Depending where you hit it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I would say so, man.
That's like 10 million dead, right?
It's wild, right? Because when you drop a nuke, it doesn't just like affect you in the moment, right? It's gonna leave like lasting effects, right? Because of all the radiation and shit.
Yeah, I just think it's crazy, man. Because
it is scary, bro. I'm with you on the whole nuke dropping shit. Because like one man can decide the fate of millions, basically. Because if you hit a town like LA or like fucking New York, you're killing millions, bro.
Yeah, you're killing millions. And we're at the beginning of it too, right? We're like in the start of this whole conflict type thing.
I feel like we're in the middle right now.
No, not the middle. I'm talking about like in terms of like getting to that point, right? Because like, you know how in was it the 50s when like the Cold War was happening?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't remember what fucking year it was, but like when that's happening, right? There was so much like widespread panic because of like the nuclear arms race and all that shit, right? And we're not at that point where like we feel like there's a legitimate threat yet, but like the warning signs are there, man. And people like if you look at history, Hitler motherfucker didn't give up until they stormed onto his fucking porch.
Yeah.
So like if someone's like these types of people like your Putins and shit are so crazy at that level that even if they're losing, they're not the kind of people that are gonna lose gracefully. They're the kind of person that's gonna fucking lose and take out as many people as they can while it's going down, you know? Because he's not just gonna be like, oh, my country revolted.
Let me roll over.
Yeah, he's gonna fucking send out his troops and mow down his own fucking people. Because even in World War II, his own people were shooting all the defectors. Well, not him personally, but like the leaders at the time were shooting all their own defectors.
Bro, I'm considering going and buying guns just in case, you know? You just never know.
Oh, just to own? Yeah.
Like, you just never fucking know, you know? And we are the most armed country.
Outside of the military? Like people?
Like citizens.
Yeah, citizens.
Most armed citizens. Like, we have the country with the most armed citizens. So, I mean, I'm telling you, bro, if something happens, I'm fucking going, dude. I'm telling my wife, hey, take the kids. Go down to my mom's state in Mexico. I'm fucking staying and fighting. Like,
oh, if like a real war went down?
Yeah. I was sorry. I'm like, sorry. Just tell my kids I love them. And fucking like, dude.
Hey, that's dope. I don't think we'd have a choice anyway. Like if we're in the age range where like if it ever went that far.
There's fucking weaselly guys, bro, that I'm sure would try to fucking leave.
Oh no, yeah, people will leave, but like.
I'm saying I would not leave.
That's considered like defecting, right? It's like when like
considered a
Vietnam.
fucking traitor,
it's
bro.
like how the people in Vietnam, a lot of them like ran away to Canada and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I feel like I'd have to probably fight. Like I don't know how adamant I am about it, but like if it ever got so close to where like I felt like I really had to do it, I don't think I'd be like, oh, let me go to Canada.
I'm not like adamant about it, but I'm like, if it comes down to it, I'm fucking doing it, dude. And Victor said the same thing, my brother.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
He's like, yeah, man, without a fucking doubt, man. Like, I see those guys from the sports teams, and I'm like, oh, like that's an honorable fucking thing, bro. I don't know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy as fuck over there, man. Hopefully, like they put up enough of a resistance because they're not gonna take over Russia. But if they stop enough of like Russians like military forces, you know, if they like carve out a big chunk of them and shit, like Russia will stop, and then maybe it'll just go to like where the world they do some bullshit like the Treaty of Versailles or something, where like Russia, you did this and that was evil. You have to do this, this, and this to like.
See, I have no idea, bro. You said you were watching a podcast or a documentary?
It was basically when Germany lost the war, right? All the countries blamed them, so like they like did this thing where they're like, "Oh, we gotta like your country can't have this many people in the military. Your country can't do this, that."
Yeah, yeah.
So like, I'm not saying we should get that far, but like maybe like Russia decides to leave, and then there's like a treaty where you're like, "Oh, you were wrong. You should like maybe some sort of reparations."
Yeah, yeah.
Something reasonable, obviously, not where you like cripple the entire population of Russia, but we're like,
yeah, I don't know, bro.
Hold them accountable for some shit.
I feel like, you know, if I break my mom's vase, that's not too serious.
Right.
But if I go invade a fucking country, like there needs to be some fucking serious like, I don't want to say punishment, but there needs to be some serious fucking like, hey man, like you fucked up, you know, like you need to fucking.
No, yeah, I know that's true, but there's
you don't
so
just
much,
get a slap on the hand.
You
bro.
know what I'm saying? Like you do got to give them some sort of form of like that. But what the problem with this kind of shit is that like it's so real for the people in it that like 30, 50 years from now, people from Ukraine, assuming Ukraine is still there and like Russia's still there, there could be like deep seated like real hate, you know, that can like affect them for like ever, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Because, like, you're not, if fucking some country invades us, we're not going to be like, oh, fuck yeah, Canadians fucking rock. I'd be like, fuck you, Canada, every Canadian I ever meet, you know? Especially if it gets to the point where they, like, murdered people I know or, like, destroyed cities and shit, you know? I'm going to be like, dude, fuck these guys.
You know what I'm thinking, bro? Like, there's people that still fly rebel flags in our country.
Yeah, yeah.
And we don't say, fuck you, man, for flying that, you know?
Wait,
they're
like,
traitors, you know?
Which rebel flags?
Like the fucking Confederate flag, bro.
I mean, we don't say it to them, but we kind of mean you kind of think it, if we're being honest.
No, yeah. I think it right, but
yeah,
like,
I hella think
as a general population, like, we don't fucking shun them. And
but I think
shit,
it hasn't gotten real, though. Like, if they attacked a bunch of people, like,
yeah.
you know, we'd be like, fuck you guys.
Yeah. When I think about that, I always think about this fucking video where this guy's, like, fighting and arguing with, like, this other guy. And he's holding up a rebel flag, and he's like, this is my heritage. My family fought to save their farm. And then the guy's like, who was working that farm?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was fucking wild,
right
dude.
in his face, dude.
But yeah, man. Anyways, we stand with Ukraine if you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
I hope all the best for Ukraine. I hope fucking Putin gets put in his place. His people don't want this. Nobody in the world wants this.
I think it's fucked, bro. I think it's fucked because even if Ukraine does come out, like, triumphant, like,
he's gonna have his ego hurt worse, bro.
It'll be like, well, that, but I'm just in general, like, they win, right? And let's say it all de-escalates and like whatever. I still feel bad because it's like, fuck, bro. How many millions of people died? You know, like how many people got bombed? How many people did they have to sacrifice for these motherfuckers to just leave them alone?
Shit, dude.
It's so crazy, right?
It's gonna be wild, yeah. I mean, I think he'll have a lot less push to be able to do whatever the fuck he wants, dude. Because, you know, for the longest time, Ukraine has been kept out of NATO because he doesn't want them in NATO, right?
Yeah, because he would see it as because NATO has its own army.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It'd be kind of like having troops right on his border.
Exactly, yeah. So, I mean, like I said, we're going to move on from this. We stand with Ukraine. I really hope it turns out in their favor.
Have you seen the post about people saying that, like, Biden is too, like, weak to, like, be president right now?
I have not seen that, but I mean, they're always saying that. We got fucking Sue Joe Biden signs here.
Yeah, that's true.
For some stupid ass candidate.
I saw stuff like that, right? It's like a bunch of stuff was basically like Biden isn't the right president to like handle this kind of situation.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, just in my mind, I was like, does it matter who the president is? Like, if something like that happens and it does affect you, like,
nobody really knows how to deal with that shit. You know,
you gotta go with who we got, bro. You don't want to be throwing like that sowing dissent in a moment where you want everybody to like unify.
Bro,
I wouldn't care. Like, if this happened and Trump was the president right now, I wouldn't be like, fuck Trump. I mean, I obviously wouldn't want him to like escalate it, but I'd be like, hey, if it gets to our shores, you know, I'm not going to be like, oh, let's just throw him out and get a new president because we're going to have to fight it anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the same reason Bush didn't get kicked out when fucking 9/11 went down, you know?
Yeah. Fuck, dude. I don't know if did you see the whole Trump response to all this shit?
I didn't even know he had a response.
Yeah. So he
Like he tweeted.
He came out and like made a public statement or something along those lines.
What was it?
He was basically like saying that it was all fucking Biden's fault and shit, and like I don't know. It was something along the lines of him praising like Putin. It was fucking weird.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see that. I saw some other guy. I guess there's like a Republican senator in some state that was invited. His name's like Ron something. He was invited to like Russia for like a bunch of things. And the FBI had like informed him, or this is what I read anyway, that the FBI had informed him that like Russia was trying to use him to spread disinformation through our country.
Oh yes.
And
yes.
he kind of brushed that off, and like I think he went there as recently as like last 4th of July or some shit. He was in Russia, so like I don't know, man. I don't know how that shit goes
sketchy,
down,
bro.
Yeah, Ron something, man. He was all over Twitter today, like trending, because people were like, "This motherfucker's still
it's weird,
talking."
Man. Democrats get fucking shamed for fucking sleeping with hookers and shit, but we got Republicans out there fucking sucking the fucking Kremlin dick and shit.
I don't know, but I do know 100% that like if shit got so real where like we were really involved, like we're the kind of country that can kind of brush aside that shit when it comes to like protecting the country as a whole, you know?
Yeah.
Because they went down, gone down multiple times where we're like, hey, we argue with each other, but you're trying to come at us, you know? We ain't no bitches.
Yeah. We really are not, bro.
So you better back up,
10 times
bro.
more military spending. It's fucking wild. And I think a lot of it has to do with intelligence and shit. Like, back when World War II happened, bro, there was no way that there was cyber hacks happening to this level, right? Because,
probably not.
Like I told you.
Do they even have internet? I don't
no,
think they had internet. They didn't even have
exactly,
internet.
bro. Like, there's no cyber attacks happening. So it's a new world. We're seeing it from a different perspective because a lot of it's on social media. But yeah, bro, we've been talking about this shit for like an hour.
Yeah, well, yeah. So
I wanted to tell you about something, bro.
All right, what?
Did you hear about the women's soccer team?
Wait, what? Wait. Before you bring that up, I just want to say that we will obviously like probably talk about this shit multiple times, like in future episodes as it develops, you know?
It's a huge historical moment.
It's like a big thing, but we're going to try to pepper in good shit too, because I can't be depressed all the time, bro. It'll fuck with my mental.
It is depressing as fuck.
So what'd the women's team do?
So the U.S. women's soccer team, I guess they basically sued like the U.S.
Yeah, I knew that.
Soccer Federation or whatever
for equal pay.
Unequal pay, bro.
Yep.
And so they won a settlement to pay for equal pay, bro. So moving forward, the women's soccer team is gonna make the same as the men's soccer team
nationally.
Yeah, nationally.
That makes sense to me.
To me, it's right, bro. Yeah.
Because they sued for it, and when they did it, I was like, it makes sense because like you're talking about the U.S. Federation, so there's no reason that they should pay them unequal.
Yeah.
Because it's not fan based. It's like the country itself.
Exactly.
It's not like individual private clubs that some teams make more, some players make more because they play for like there's more TV shit. You know, it's like if the NBA played everyone on the Olympic team a different amount, it wouldn't make any sense because they're playing for one team, whereas like the NBA can individually pay everybody differently.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'm fully on board with this shit, bro.
I was cool with it. Yeah.
Because to me, like, because I think the women's US soccer team has won the World Cup, hasn't it?
Like 5 times.
Exactly.
They're the best women's team in the world.
Yeah. And I mean, they were being paid like pennies on the dollar compared to like the men's
nationally, right?
Yeah, nationally.
That makes sense. Yeah, I think it's cool. They deserve to get that money. I mean, I'm sure the U.S. because I feel like when you play for your country, they're not paying you like the way you get paid for your teams. You know, like LeBron playing for the U.S. team Olympically. I don't even think they can pay you, but they might pay you.
Well, it's different, right? Too, because when you're playing for like
pride, like national pride.
When you're not playing for national pride, you're playing for a private team that is a business.
Yeah, for profit. It's a business.
Exactly. Yeah, but when you're playing nationally, it's for like the pride of your country, you know?
Yeah. That's dope as fuck, dude.
So yeah, I saw that in the news. I thought it was cool. I mean, with all this Ukraine shit going on, like Russia bullshit, motherfuckers, you know? Sorry. I'm very like emotionally like.
Dude, you're gonna get us hacked, bro. Imagine fucking we're gonna get hacked by some Russian dude.
I don't know, bro. Anonymous was saying they got people in Russia too, so
I don't know. I've never really looked into that Anonymous.
We said we're gonna stop talking about it, but yeah. Anyways, that was in the news, and I mean, it's a win for equal rights, man. I mean, I don't see it trickling into like non-national teams, unfortunately, because they are for profit.
Well, yeah, and fucking
but I mean,
women's
at that level,
boring.
it's amazing, right?
Women's soccer, like at the pro level, bro, is trash compared to like men's soccer.
Yeah, no, they're doing flips and shit, bro. It's entertaining.
I'm just saying in general, like it's the same like the WNBA. You know, they're not gonna make as much as the NBA until you have the audience for it. That's just how shit like that works.
Yeah, I agree.
But like with national teams, I think it makes perfect sense for them to get paid the same, especially since like the women's national team in the U.S. has the biggest argument for it because they're easily the best fucking soccer team for women in the last decade. Like they be fucking winning and they be fucking winning all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Like it's not even close.
Yeah,
so on another happy note, because I thought this was hilarious as fuck, right? So I'm looking at a video of Rick Ross, the rapper. I don't know if you guys know who Rick Ross is, but motherfucker's famous as fuck, and he was rapping. And so he made this video. He's like, oh, I wanted to pay these guys to come cut down these trees for me, right? I got like 10 trees on my property that I don't want. And the guy told me it was $1,000 a tree. And I was like, nah, fuck that. And then he calls his friend. And he's like, yo, go to Home Depot. Buy the biggest saw you can find. I'm about to cut down these fucking trees myself.
Next clip.
And then the next clip, it's him fucking like cutting down a tree with like a cowboy hat on.
That shit looked funny as fuck, dude.
So funny, man.
That's some shit I would do, bro. Somebody tells me it's going to be $10,000 for these 10 trees. My ass is fucking going to Home Depot buying a chainsaw.
Yeah, what's a chainsaw cost you? $500 if it's the
if
best
that,
one,
bro. Yeah, I mean,
$200.
Maybe you pay $1,000 for a really good chainsaw. You just saved yourself $9,000.
Yeah, plus you can just keep all the wood for firewood and shit or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, you're fucking. That's so funny, dude. I picture Rick Ross dropping one of those trees on his house.
Well, it seems so real, right? My thing about it is like, it's the same emotion that someone like me and you with no money gets, you know? Like,
yeah.
You ask some dude to come, hey, come fix my cabinets, and you're like,
Fuck
what's the
that.
quote? Fuck that, dude. I could do my own cabinets, and you just YouTube it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the same feeling I got from Rick Ross, and that motherfucker's a millionaire, you know? He can afford it. $10,000 is nothing to him, but he was like, do I look stupid to you? I can cut this fucking tree.
And then he fucking does it. That shit's funny. If you haven't seen the video, I definitely recommend it.
Oh, yeah, it's good. We'll probably post it on our page. We'll find it on our Facebook or our Instagram or something, because it was hilarious, so dude.
Funny, bro.
It made me laugh so much. You know what else was funny, though? Is you know how Kanye, he's got like his Donda 2 coming out or whatever?
Yeah.
And
I saw that shit, dude.
did you see what he did with the he took the Kim Kardashian like monologue from Saturday Night Live?
And he sampled it.
Yeah, and he sampled it. So like the beginning of his whole show was Kim Kardashian talking him up. She was like, I'm marrying the richest man in the world, the best rapper ever. And he used all that shit just to clown on like Pete Davidson fucking hooking up with his ex-wife.
Kanye's on some fucking psychopath shit, bro.
It's so bad, dude.
Because he bought a house across the street from Kim's house. And it's like a shitty house that he paid like $4 million for.
Oh, it's not good?
It's not good, bro. It's not good. Like, especially not for $4 million, right? So that was one thing. And then, so I get to work and this guy's like, hey, you see that Kanye concert yesterday?
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, I didn't see it, bro. He's like, yeah, I guess one of the sound guys fucked up his sound and he just like threw the mic in from the middle of his fucking set, dude. Was so pissed.
Damn. Yeah, he's tripping, man.
Yeah.
I saw his I saw this post basically. It was like a meme, and it was like Kanye doesn't realize that he's writing Pete Davidson's next special. Like his next comedy special is gonna be all about Kanye.
Yeah, I definitely see that shit, bro. I don't know. That is a wild situation, man. Because I guess another situation that happened was like they were throwing a birthday party for his daughter.
Yeah.
And he wasn't invited. But Travis Scott like leaked the address to him and he ended up showing up or something. It was fucking weird.
I was actually on his side for that. Because when I saw that, I was like, just let him come to his daughter's birthday party. Just kick him out at like 5. I'm sure the party's not going to go all night.
I think it depends. If they left on good terms, all right. If they didn't, I mean, because I don't know how their custody is right now. I don't think he has any custody, to be honest.
I don't know, actually. I don't think they've actually gone through full divorce court. So I think it's kind of like that you know how you can do like an agreement between yourselves before you get a real agreement?
Yeah.
I think it's one of those.
I kind of picture that Kim K went to like law school all these years while she was with him
to
just
divorce
so
him?
she could fucking divorce him the right way and shit.
That's funny as fuck. I was on his side for that though, for real. I was like, hey, let the dude come to the birthday, because I'm sure like the Kardashians, Travis Scott, like that wasn't a regular ass birthday, man. It wasn't like, oh, we're at home having dinner. It was probably some big ass motherfucking party, you know. So you could have just invited him and then like had him be on like his side, and like as long as he is crazy, I guess.
No, yeah, he definitely is.
Because I'm kind of looking at it from my perspective, right? Like if I had a wife and we broke up, and
she kept the kids from you,
like assuming if we're on good terms, like I would assume that I would try to do my best to be on the best terms possible so I can see my kids, you know?
Yeah.
So like if he's genuinely doing that, then he should be invited to the party. But if he's not genuinely doing it, then you're kind of fucking yourself over there, you know?
I agree, man. Kanye, he's kind of weird to me, bro. Right? Because, I mean, he's got a lot of successes in his life.
Oh, a lot.
He was a great rapper.
Really good.
I mean, I still like kind of some of his more recent shit, but I feel like mentally, like, he's got, like, mental health issues, bro. And, like, you know, kind of like in the culture we grow up, like, you don't really, if you deal with that sort of shit, you know, you're kind of viewed down on.
Right.
So I feel like maybe that's how he feels and shit. Like, you know, people are going to think less of me if I go get fucking help. So he's out here doing like some outlandish shit, bro.
That makes sense.
It's fucking wild.
I don't know. We're at the end of the fucking episode, so we're going to move on to the hypothetical moment, hypothetical question we do just for fun. I actually saw this one online in a video, and I thought it was funny, so I was like, let's see what our answers are, right?
All right.
So, would you rather never have a hot meal again or a cold drink?
Oh, fuck, dude. I would rather never have a hot meal again.
Really?
Yeah. I eat my shit cold, like, all the time.
Huh. Like what, for instance? Like just like...
So, like, if I have, like, a
like leftovers?
wrap, that shit will be cold. But obviously, it's better warm.
Yeah.
But I don't mind it cold.
Mm.
But if it's a hot fucking day, nothing hits like some ice cold fucking water, dude.
Or just ice cold anything in general, honestly, on a hot day.
Exactly, yeah. But for me, it's water, bro. Like, when I remember I told you the story of when I used to go to football and I'd come home and, like, be craving, like, milk and shit.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a cold-ass cup of milk. Like, there's nothing like that, bro. Like, a warm meal, all right, but, like, it's got to be, like, a cold day. Because I feel like if my mom's making soup on a hot-ass day, like caldo de pollo or something, that's just not right, bro. And I see videos on TikTok all the time about that. Like, oh, shit, it's hot as fuck today. And then they show up home and mom made fucking caldo de res or caldo de pollo. Which
something
is
hot as fuck.
Chicken soup or fucking beef soup.
I don't know, it's tough for me to answer this one, dude, because, like, hot meals are, like, oh, my God, it's so good, right? Because, like, I've argued with people over, like, cold pizza, warm pizza, and, like, warm pizza fucking shits on cold pizza, in my opinion.
I agree, yeah.
So, like, what am I going to do with no warm meals, dude? I like everything I want to eat, I want warm. But, like, no cold drinks, like, that limits your options to, like,
that's fucking wild.
Tap water or, like, coffee.
Because, I mean,
like, what else
soda,
is hot?
Ew, bro.
Yeah, like, what else is hot? Fucking, you got coffee, hot chocolate, tea. And those are your options.
Yeah. And, I mean, it doesn't have to be warm, right? It can just be, like, room temperature.
Like, room temp. Yeah, room temperature sodas
fucking
sucks, dude. Room temperature drinks are
even
terrible.
Juice, bro. Like, room temperature juice sucks ass.
Yeah, it's got to be cold.
I'm telling you, bro, I could live with cold meals. I don't give a fuck. As long as it's not, like, fatty, like a cold piece of bacon that's got all the fucking, like, cold fucking fat.
That makes sense. Because, like, most sandwiches, I would assume, are cold.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck, it's tough, dude. I think I'm gonna go with cold drinks too, cause at that point, like, I'm just gonna give up on life, you know, and just, like, start eating chips and shit. It doesn't matter if those are cold or warm,
bro.
Just like sandwiches. Like, I can find enough cold foods, I feel like, that I'll, like, sustain myself. Where, like, if I can't have a cold drink ever again, like, I can't even imagine. Cause, like, I've had a soccer game and, like, cold water from the drinking fountain or something, like, right after a game, you know. Like, how am I going to hydrate myself, man? I'm not going to be drinking warm-ass shit all the time.
You. Yeah, I eat cold meals all the time because my wife packs me lunch. And
it's like a sandwich or something?
I eat in my car because I like to watch, like, videos and shit on my lunch.
Oh, okay.
So, like, my shit's cold. I don't have a fucking microwave in my car. So, like, one day she cooked steak and she put steak in my fucking lunch. And that shit was cold. I don't fucking mind it, dude, to be honest. But you're, like, a cold drink, there's nothing like it, bro. Like,
yeah, there's not.
When I used to work with your stepdad,
right?
I'd come home like in pain, bro. And then I'm not a big beer drinker, but I was like, fuck it, dude. I'm going to stop for a 6-pack. I stopped. I drank a cold ass beer. And the pain went away, dude. It was fucking weird.
The pain went away.
It was weird, dude. Like, I had back pain and shit, and I was like, dude, 2 fucking beers in because I'm a light drinker. Pain was gone, bro. There's nothing like that shit. Or, like, at a barbecue, I'm always the fucking grill. I'm always at the grill, bro.
That makes sense to me. Because every time we've had a party or something, like, people bring the 12 packs of sodas, right? And I'm like, fuck, I can't drink one until it's been in the ice for a little bit. Because if it's not cold, it doesn't complement the meal right, man.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Like, and I don't feel like that way about like having like a cold meal
and like a warm drink. Yeah, it's not the same.
I don't feel like that, dude. It's fucking weird.
Yeah. But, the only warm drink I would even consider like with a meal anyway is like if I was eating some bread or a donut, some like Mexican conchas or some shit, and then a coffee, you know?
Fuck.
Because that makes sense in my head. But like other than that, you know, I can eat fucking cold. Yeah, fuck it. I'm going with the drink too. I would need to have the cold drink. No, the hot meal. I would rather never have a hot meal.
Yeah. I'm the same, bro.
I'm keeping cold drinks.
I'm keeping cold drinks too. Fuck a warm meal. Unless
I can eat some canned shit.
I don't know, bro, because like I think it's all about perspective, right? Because I was telling you yesterday, my wife was doing nails at my aunt's store. And so before I went to pick her up, I stopped at Little Caesars. And I'm sitting in the car waiting for the food to be done because I ordered it on the app. And this guy rolls up in his wheelchair, dude. He's homeless, missing a leg. Knocks on my window. I knew he was coming, dude. So I was like, hey, what's up, man? He's like, hey, can you give me like $20, $30 for a meal? I was like, nah, bro, I can't do that.
Did you give him the pizza?
I was like, I can buy you a pizza if you want. He's like, all right. So I go and buy him. I get out of my car. I'm going to buy him a pizza. And he's like, could you actually get me wings instead? I was like, yeah, bro, I'll get you wings. He's like, can you get me 2? I was like, I don't know, man. Like, you know, I didn't say that to him, but I was like, all right. So
you can't be mad for him taking his shot right there.
I go in and I'm like about to order him the wings. And this guy in front of me is like, hey, are you buying that guy food? Because like he's been around for years. He's just going to keep asking other people for shit. And I was like, yeah, man, but I feel bad for him, you know? And he's like, I'm just letting you know, bro. Like, he was just down at the taco truck asking people for food.
Yeah, but did they give him food?
I don't know. I couldn't tell. But I was like, yeah. So I ended up buying him 1 thing of wings.
All right.
And I felt bad when I left, dude. I even told my wife, I was like, fuck, I should have bought him 2 things of wings. I feel bad. And I went out and I gave him the receipt. I'm like, here, man. I bought you 1 thing of wings. Sorry, man. That's what I could do. And he was grateful. He didn't fucking like smirk at me or anything. And then it was weird, bro. He walked into the store. He's like, all right, I'm going to go wait inside. Because it was cold as fuck, dude. It was like 20 degrees yesterday.
Right.
With wind chill. And his face was red as fuck from being cold and shit. And he just wanted to be warm for like a couple minutes while he waited for his wings, bro. And I was like, fuck. You know, like that's the type of person that would probably enjoy a warm meal over a fucking cold drink, you know?
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
So I that's what I'm saying. It's all about perspective, I think.
We had a guy once. We walked by like a homeless dude too, right? And he was like asking for money for food. And none of us gave him money, right? But my friend Johnny was like, "Oh, dude, we're getting pizza right here at the Pie Hole Pizza place, so I'll bring you a slice."
Yeah.
And the guy didn't even say anything, and so like it was so fast that like we just kind of went in, got our shit, ate, and then he bought another piece and brought it out to the guy, right?
Yeah.
And the guy took the piece of pizza and then threw it on the ground. Because I think this guy just wanted money.
No.
And it was so fucking funny, bro, because I was like, fuck, man, that sucks. Because, like, you tried to do a good deed. Dude didn't give a shit. But ultimately, you still probably should have tried to do the good deed if you wanted, right? Because, like, I would have done it, too. And then when the guy's, like, ungrateful, you're like, well, fuck, that sucked. But at least you try, right? At least you're out there trying to, like, give a shit about people.
I don't know, bro. That would devastate me, bro. To be honest. Just not even like what it cost me or what the food is. Just like the act of that. Like you could have waited till I walked away.
Yeah, to throw it. Yeah.
That's wild. But yeah, man. I mean, I'm not going to be deterred from helping people if I can, you know?
That makes sense.
I believe in karma.
I've done that shit. I remember one time we're driving in my mom's car and this homeless dude's on the corner, right? And my mom's got like this big ass pile of change in her car, like everybody does.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, Cena, you got any money? She's all like, no, I don't have any money. I was like, oh, fuck it. And I just fucking grabbed a big ass handful of the change. And I fucking rolled down the window and I was like, here you go, bro. That's got to be like $10 in like quarters and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm sorry that it's changed, but that's what I got.
Yeah. Fucking guy, you're like, it's not mine.
Yeah, it wasn't mine. My mom was like behind us in the other car, and we stopped at the restaurant we were going to, and I was like, yeah, Mom, I gave them all your change. Well, not all of it. There was a little bit left, but I scooped out a big ass scoop.
Damn.
Nah, she didn't give a shit.
Right on, man. Well, I mean, if you got nothing else,
Nah,
it's going to do it for this episode, man. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're on TikTok still. We're almost to 1,700 followers.
Yeah.
Gerald's been fucking spamming the shit out of that, so go check out the videos on there, man. They're sick. Our merch is still up. We still got sweaters and beanies. I'm going to update that here in the coming weeks with like shirts and
for the summer months.
Like maybe some more springy stuff. So
some motherfucking shorts, dude. Some shorts would be sick as fuck.
Yeah, we did. I did put a tie-dye shirt on our Facebook page. So if you want to check that out, leave us some feedback on that. I am planning on dropping those. So
dope. And we're on Pandora too, right? Did we say we were on Pandora?
Yeah, we're on Pandora, Spotify,
all those fucking places.
You can even go to Anchor and listen to us. So check us out. It's going to do it for this episode. Peace.